Hello everyone. So now we are going to start with Indian geography, and first I'll be trying to give you some outline of geography. Indian geography, what are we supposed to study here, and the questions which are asked from Indian geography, the main focus in Indian geography. You find very surprising that Indian geography is, rather the word Indian geography is missing from your syllabus. There is nowhere mentioned that Indian geography will be asked. It's like world geography that is asked. But of course, we cannot deny this, right? We cannot ignore. So it's important for prelims, it's important for mains. And before 2013, it was only Indian geography for mains. So we used to study only Indian geography, the applied aspects of Indian geography. Now that world geography has been incorporated in your main syllabus, so we need to study world geography in connection to Indian geography. So when we study mountain building in geomorphology, we also study origin of Himalayas, or we study seasonal winds in climatology, we also study monsoon. Here we are discussing all those topics, but India specific. How Himalayas have been formed, what is the distribution pattern of monsoon, and so on. So let's first of all take the outline of the syllabus for Indian geography. So first topic is Indian physiography. It's very important to understand Indian physiography. Right, what are we going to discuss here? See the word physiography, right? Physical features. Physiography means the description of physical features of India. So what are those physical features? What are those physical features? If you look at the northern part of India, it's the highest mountain range in the world, like the northern mountain system of India. Then you have got these plains, right? North Indian plains, this huge region including the Thar desert. It's also the largest depositional feature of the world. Then we have got this massive shield or plateau region. We call it as peninsular plateau. Includes Aravalis and Chota Nagpurs and the Deccan Plateau and Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, all these features. And then we have these coastal plains of India, Western coastal plains and Eastern coastal plains, and then finally island parts of India. So we'll have physiographic divisions and we'll try to see the origin of these. Well, the origin of Himalaya is easy to understand, but geologically it's very difficult to find origin of a feature that was formed say 500 million years ago, or a feature that was formed around 200 million years ago, like Deccan Plateau. So the Cretaceous formation is difficult to explain, and we cannot explain it in detail in present time. So there is a limitation, but we'll try to see how these have been formed. And what is very, very important is the socio-economic effect of all these. What will be the socio-economic effect of this? Like for example, if we have the largest alluvial plains of the world, it's easy to understand that it will be agricultural, because alluvial soil is one of the finest and one of the most fertile soils of the world. Exactly in the same manner, Deccan Plateau, if it's volcanic in origin, then again it will be agricultural in nature. But then what about Himalayas? What about coastal plains? What about islands? What will be the socio-economic effect, or what will be the conditions there? We need to discuss upon that. That will be the emphasis in your mains examination. Then once we are done with Indian physiography, then we need to discuss the second topic, that is Indian climate. And it's needless to say that Indian climate is monsoonal. All of us know that monsoon has a prominent effect on India. So be it our the southwest monsoon, or if we talk about northeast monsoon, all these winds, northeast monsoon, they have influence in India, so much so that the entire financial year is coinciding with the onset of monsoon. Agriculture year is coinciding with the onset of monsoon. So it has so much of impact. So our emphasis in general studies would be to have a basic understanding of origin of monsoon and what are the factors that affect monsoon, right? And once we're done with that, the next topic would be the effect of monsoon. Like monsoons were called as finance ministers of India, right? Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, when he presented his last budget, in his speech he said, I am the finance minister, but monsoons are the real finance minister of India. So why is it having so much of impact and how it influences the entire socio-economic effect of India, that we need to understand, right? Along with the basic mechanism of monsoon. Then we have to discuss third important point of Indian physiography, that would be Indian drainage system. India is again blessed with so many rivers, thousands of rivers. Prominent one is Ganga and Brahmaputra and this Indus system on the west. Then we have Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, Narmada, Tapi and their tributaries and so many small rivers. So for prelims, the description on tributary is important. You need to remember a lot of tributaries, number one. Number two, how can we tap the water resources of India? Right? Despite of having so much of rainfall and despite of having so many rivers, why is India water deficit? The water availability has reduced over the years. And also, is the national water grid feasible? That we have been talking for more than 100 years now. Sir Arthur Cotton gave the idea of interlinking of rivers, but it has not been formulated as of now. So how far have we reached and how far is it feasible at the first place? We need to describe that, and if it is not feasible, then what is the possible solution to this? And that will be the emphasis. And also, how does it influence the waterway system of India? If there are so many rivers, then the waterway should have been the main source of transportation, main mode of transportation. But it is not the case in India. So how is it done and what is the problem associated with that? We need to emphasize on that also. Then Indian soils, right? India is blessed with so much of diverse soils. So many soils are there in India, and our emphasis would be first the description of soils, the formation of soil, pedogenesis, what we call as. And after pedogenesis, we need to focus upon what is the problem with the soils. Like we have soil erosion, tons and tons of soils are lost every year by floods and so many other points. Then also the soil efficiency in India is reducing because of overuse of fertilizers. And then we'll see other soil problems like waterlogging to dryness, everything. So this would be first part of India, what we call it as India physical or Indian physical geography. Once we are done with that and we understand the basic idea of, the basic idea of climatology and geomorphology and other things, now we will emphasize on human aspect. Human geography would be more Indian specific, right? Human geography. We will also be looking at the world aspect, but majority of questions, in fact all questions would be related to Indian aspect. Now this particular topic is also linking your General Studies paper 3. If you look at your syllabus carefully, General Studies paper 3, you will see that in paper 3 there's a topic mentioned in your syllabus, cropping pattern of India, right? Then there's a syllabus, then there's a topic mentioned about irrigation in India, right? Revolutions, agricultural revolutions started in India after independence. In fact, there was a question asked on all the three. So what we are discussing here is not for paper 1 alone, also for General Studies paper 3. So what will be the topic discussed here? Number 1, we will start with agriculture of India. Agriculture of India. Now what is to be discussed in agriculture of India? First, the cropping pattern of India. Then we'll look at the changes in the cropping pattern over the years, like how green revolution has impacted the cropping system and cropping pattern of India. Then we look at the general idea about the problems of agriculture, the geographical problems of India, the economic and market related problems. You probably will have a discussion in economy, or for that matter in current affairs also. It is farmer bill is of course one of the point of discussion now. Then other than that, we'll be looking at some other aspects like productivity and agricultural efficiency of India. And after that, the green revolution, right? The geographical aspect of green revolution, that why green revolution was focused only in Punjab, Haryana, and not so much in the eastern states of India, or not so much in the peninsular or Himalayan part of India. After that, white revolution and the recent rainbow revolution that we are talking about, in fact, which is the feature of the second green revolution. And also some related aspects of dryland farming, new agricultural methods, right? What are the new agricultural techniques that we follow? And also looking at the irrigation of India, because it's a huge topic. Agriculture is a huge topic. It will have, it will cover your paper 1, General Studies paper 1, as well as the General Studies paper 3. All right. Then after that, population of India. And why population of India is so high, what are the factors, etc., etc. Plus, what are the population problems, population policies, and also look at the tribal regions of India, right? What are the geographical conditions of these tribes and what are the features? And also we look at the demographic transition, like India is passing through demographic dividend, and rather India has to encash this demographic dividend, and how many countries in the world are in the demographic dividend, or what has been the trend over the years. Like Japan has already had its share of demographic dividend, Europe already has demographic dividend, now India has to encash upon this. So what is demographic dividend, and what can be the future prospect? All that discussion in the topic for population. Then third is industries. Now I must share one point here. See, industries troubled a lot of people, because in 2013 the word comes world industrial distribution, primary, secondary and tertiary. So we need to understand the world distribution pattern of industries. Distribution pattern, first of all, it is like primary industry. So first of all, you should be very clear what is primary industry, what is secondary industry, what is tertiary industry. Many a times we overlap primary industry with the primary sector. Primary sector is related to economic activity, right? Agriculture, mining and all that which is related to the extraction of natural resources. Here we are talking about primary industries, not primary sector. So all the production based industries like steel production, aluminium production, which lay the foundation for other industries, are called as primary industries. Because if we have a higher steel production, the car manufacturing and other manufacturing industries will take the byproduct or the product of final good of the steel industries and use it as a raw material. So they are called as secondary industries. And tertiary industries, of course, which is mainly related with the distribution and so on. So we will be looking at the production industries, what is called as primary industries, then manufacturing industries, and also see the problems of manufacturing sector in India, why manufacturing sector has not performed so well in comparison to the production and tertiary industries. And then lastly, we'll look at the current trend in the industrial sector, because you see a lot of industries have shifted after 2000. There are a lot of industrial setup taking place in developing countries like Southeast Asia, South Asia, China. The reason being high population, high market and labor, etc. So those trends also need to be discussed. You need to relate on your own with the recent WTO norms and economic aspect also. So this would be discussion in industries. Then we have to discuss resources of world and India specific. I will be very much focused on India, and also problems. Now, what are the questions that are asked? See, there are two types of questions. Number one is very factual based topic, like where do we have iron resources, coal, petroleum, natural gas, all the major resources. What is the main focus of examiner these days is the problems related with the extraction of these resources. For example, we have a different licensing policy for coal and we have a different licensing policy for natural gas. Right? The two companies or a single company cannot extract coal and cannot extract natural gas. But we have coal bed methane. In the coal mines, we also have methane. So coal mining company cannot extract methane where it is found together. So what are the problems related? How do we solve this problem? Right? So licensing norms have changed in 2019, so and 20 also. So we need to focus upon that. Also, what are the environmental impacts of these mining, like fracking? If you have followed United States presidential elections, you will find that fracking was banned. Some of them said that fracking should be banned, but they did not ban it. Like Kamala Harris in one of her speeches said that fracking must be banned, but they did not ban it. Why? What is fracking? Why is it so dangerous? Why are they continuing if it is so dangerous? Like shale gas is one of the future gas for USA and most of the countries. So how do we relate to this? That should be the focus also. So along with the factual information, the current aspect, the environmental impact of the mining will also be discussed. So this would be a broad idea about the Indian geography and the aspect related to human geography also. And apart from that, let's also have some discussions toward, I'll keep it a miscellaneous topic towards the end. Miscellaneous because maybe there is something in news, some topics come in news like climate change impacting some part of agriculture or industries or something like of that sort. So we will also be having a discussion on that towards the end, like maybe summary of current events. So this would be Indian geography that we are looking at.